You have been sold a completely fabricated version of reality. From the moment you entered the educational system, you were taught that success is a simple equation. You were told that high intelligence, raw talent, and relentless hard work are the ultimate keys to power and freedom. You look around, you follow the rules, and yet you constantly see people with less talent and less traditional intelligence bypassing you, taking the promotions, winning the negotiations, and holding the absolute highest positions in the social hierarchy. You think the system is broken. It is not broken. You are simply playing the wrong game. The world is not ruled by academic intelligence. It is ruled by a much older, much more primal cognitive framework. It is ruled by dark intelligence. Dark intelligence is the clinical ability to understand human biology, control social perception, and operate strategically without a single drop of emotional bias. It is the exact psychology of power that Machiavelli observed centuries ago. Today, we are going to dissect the 9 biological laws of dark intelligence. This is not about becoming a villain. This is about stripping away your evolutionary illusions so you can finally see the board clearly. The absolute foundation of dark intelligence is the weaponization of selective silence. Humans are biologically wired to fill empty space. When tension rises in a room, your nervous system demands resolution, and the average person uses words to relieve that internal pressure. They over-explain, they brag, they clarify. In doing so, they become entirely predictable. Every word you speak is a data point you are handing over to a potential opponent. The dark intelligence operator understands that information is the ultimate currency. By remaining selectively silent, you force the other person to keep talking to fill the void. To relieve their own biological anxiety, they will inevitably reveal their insecurities, their real motives, and their hidden strategies. Speak less, observe more. Let their inability to handle silence become your greatest analytical advantage. Once you master your silence, you must rewire your moral compass through the law of strategic amorality. This is where the weak immediately fail. Society has programmed you to judge every situation through the binary lens of good versus bad. You get offended when someone plays dirty. You complain that a situation is not fair. But nature does not care about your morality. In the biological world, there is no good or bad. There is only what is effective and what is ineffective. When you attach emotions like outrage, offense, or fairness to a conflict, you completely blind yourself to the mechanics of the game. Your amygdala hijacks your logic. The dark intelligence framework requires you to detach your ego from the event. When someone attacks you, you do not ask, "How dare they?" You ask, "What is the structural advantage they are trying to gain, and how do I neutralize it?" You observe human behavior like a scientist observing bacteria in a petri dish. Cold, objective, lethal. The third law is the architecture of controlled vulnerability. If you walk into a room projecting absolute perfection, you immediately trigger the tribal defense mechanisms of everyone around you. Perfection creates envy. Envy creates hidden enemies. People are biologically intimidated by those who appear flawless because it highlights their own evolutionary shortcomings. To bypass this defense system, you must engineer controlled vulnerability. You deliberately show small, harmless flaws. You admit to a minor mistake. You ask for advice on a trivial matter. This instantly lowers their guard. It makes you appear human, relatable, and safe. They feel superior. Their ego is stroked, and their tribal alarm system shuts down. Meanwhile, your actual weaknesses, your true fears, your real financial state, your deepest insecurities remain locked in a vault where no one can ever access them. Appear human to the masses, but remain a strategist in the dark. This seamlessly connects to the fourth law, the mirror effect. Human beings are deeply narcissistic creatures. It is a biological survival trait. We care most about that which looks, acts, and thinks like us. When you interact with someone, they do not actually want to hear your unique perspective. They desperately want to see their own beliefs validated in your eyes. The dark intelligence operator weaponizes mirror neurons. You subtly match their physical posture. You adopt their tone of voice. You echo their core philosophies back to them. When you reflect a person's identity back to them, their brain releases a massive surge of oxytocin, the trust hormone. They will feel an inexplicable magnetic connection to you. They will trust you implicitly. And in that state of absolute trust, they will hand you the keys to their psychology without you ever having to ask. The fifth law is the most difficult to achieve, but it grants absolute power, outcome independence. In any negotiation, any relationship, or any conflict, the person who is most desperate for a specific outcome holds the least amount of leverage. If you need the job, if you need the validation, or if you need the relationship to survive, you are a hostage. Your fear of loss acts as a psychological leash, and a skilled manipulator will pull it to make you dance. Dark intelligence requires the complete destruction of desperation. You must operate with a lethal level of detachment. You enter the negotiation knowing exactly what you want, but you maintain the genuine, unshakable willingness to stand up and walk away into the void. When the opponent senses that you do not fear losing them, their leverage evaporates instantly. Desperation repels. Detachment attracts. Be willing to walk away from anything and watch how quickly the world tries to keep you. The sixth law is the cultivation of the useful enemy. Weak people wrung from conflict. They want everyone to like them. But conflict is an evolutionary catalyst. A sharp knife requires a hard stone to grind against. Enemies are highly valuable assets if managed correctly. An intelligent opponent will brutally expose your flaws, your blind spots, and your structural weaknesses far better than any friend ever will. Furthermore, nothing unites a group of people faster than a shared threat. By quietly positioning your opponent as a common enemy, you can instantly forge alliances, build tribal loyalty, and manipulate the social dynamics of your environment. You do not destroy the enemy immediately. You keep them around just long enough to sharpen your own blade and unite your ranks. The seventh principle is the mastery of the persona. You have been told your whole life to just be yourself. This is a comforting lie designed to keep you rigid and predictable. In nature, an organism that cannot adapt its camouflage to its environment is the first to be eaten. You do not possess one fixed identity. You are a biological machine capable of infinite variations. Dark intelligence is the realization that your personality is simply a tool. You must use different versions of yourself depending entirely on the context of the room. With a dominant alpha, you are cooperative but firm. With an insecure subordinate, you are reassuring and warm. With a predator, you are completely unreadable. Flexibility equals survival. Adapt your mask to the situation and never confuse the mask with your true self. The eighth law is the application of necessary suspicion. You want to believe people are fundamentally good, but human history and evolutionary biology dictate that people act strictly in their own self-interest. When someone offers you a favor out of nowhere, or when someone is overly flattering, your biological alarm should be ringing. Do not judge people by the poetry of their words. Words are cheap and easily manipulated. Judge them strictly by the cold, hard metrics of their actions. What do they have to gain? What are their hidden incentives? The dark intelligence operator assumes hidden motives until proven otherwise. Verify the geometry of the situation first. Trust only when the data aligns. Finally, the ninth law, the integration of the shadow. Carl Jung warned us about this decades ago. Inside you, there is a primal capacity for aggression, manipulation, and dominance. Society tells you to repress it, to pretend it does not exist, and to be a nice person. But if you deny your dark side, it retreats into your subconscious and controls you through passive aggressiveness, sudden outbursts, and profound weakness. To achieve true dark intelligence, you must own your shadow. You must accept that you have the capacity for ruthlessness. You must integrate the predator within you, but you must keep it firmly on a leash. True strength is not being harmless. Harmless men are just victims waiting to happen. True strength is having the absolute capacity to destroy an opponent and consciously choosing to keep your sword sheathed until it is absolutely necessary. The world is a strategic psychological game. While the masses react emotionally, burn their energy, and complain about fairness, the elite observe, detach, and control the board. You now possess the 9 laws. The illusion has been shattered. The only question is whether you have the discipline to execute the code. Subscribe to see reality clearly. Master your instincts. Master the game. See you in the next protocol.